Nice, welcome back guys to this fourth game in the Elite Series League of Legends Division 2 first day. We had 3 amazing games already, and with me on my side is QG.
Hello. We are back in this hood. Yeah. And we are ready for the fourth game, I guess.
Yeah.
With a no lag stream now. We actually changed some stuff up. So we hope the lags are gone. I think the lags are gone. But we are here for the last game. It's Dynasty against Adverse.
Yeah.
And we are for the last game. I'm always hyped for what we see in the end and what we saw in the beginning. Yeah, and we have actually today's matches, and Rifts lost again, won against Saoma Esports, Perty Nexa won against Once Upon a Team, and the Reapers won against Aurora. So the Maokai has a 100% win rate, and the Royce too. And we kind of see the team comps are very good at right now, with some scaling to get the objectives, so you can just scale into the end of the game and just kill everybody. But yeah, again, we didn't talk about the last game, but we are already in the champ select, so we kind of skipped that because it was a dominant game by Reapers. Yes. Yeah.
And I would just want to do a quick shout out on the jungler from Dynasty, just because that's a little bit personal, because Skellen actually is a German friend of mine. He actually played in my Prime League team last split, so it was a huge upgrade from Division 4 to Division 2, I would say. So, yeah, Skellen is an amazing guy, so definitely keep your eyes on him in game. Hopefully he will carry them. Anyway, but not that I'm really biased for one of those teams. Anyway, we have some bans, and I can actually talk about the Nidalee ban because Skellen is a really good Nidalee player, so they just take it out. And of course, Nami Lucian is out, Caitlyn is out, but Maokai, Rice, and some others are still in there. So maybe we see a Maokai ban, maybe we see a Rice ban. If not, then probably Maokai first pick or something. There's the Elise ban. And you just see how much they want to take down Skellen. I mean,
yeah, but the Maokai is still open, and you can still pick it. The Maokai is still there. It is the strongest. And there is the pick. The Maokai is picked. Maybe Lucianami can't be picked. Zeri Yumi is up. What did we see? Heimerdinger Ash is up.
Rice.
Rice is up. Wukong is up. What do we have? Kassadin is up. Victor is up. There's some really good picks that are up because you only have 6 bans in the beginning. And you can see Sejuani is up too and Vitu if you want that. You can, but they go for the Wukong here for the engage and the skirmish. What do they pick again? Now they could be picking an AD carry to get that ahead, and if they want to support, they're still thinking what do they do.
Yeah, Varus would be a pickup, but also like the Sari. Yeah, that's the Varus.
That's the Varus.
The prediction king right here. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good pickup. And yeah, I mean, with Aphelios, if they really pick him, like Lulu or Fresh would be some amazing pickups. Otherwise, both probably just will get banned. But usually, like you pick your matchup, like Maokai got picked, so then you pick like your Wukong, and then of course, what is the best role to blind pick? ADC. So yeah, that's the reason.
It's Iriyumi. I will call it here now.
Okay. There comes the prediction.
They're still thinking about it. Oh, it's Lulu. I messed up. I'm retiring now. No.
Yeah, but it's bad color caster.
maybe for the they picked Lulu because Lulu is really good with Varus. Just can stack faster the W, and you can just hit it. If you go lethality, well, you can play both builds right now. So Adverse is looking for an engage support in the Nautilus. So for the knock-up and the lock-up of the Zeri, so Varus can just burst her down. And you see, come to the second ban phase, and what will Adverse ban here? There's still mid lane and top lane up for both sides, so you can ban the Ryze, you can ban the Kassadin, the K'Sante is also an option, Fiora, Akali, also a pretty standard pick.
Yeah.
You have Mordekaiser, you have...
I mean,
what do you still have?
plenty. I mean, there are
Syndra is also
there are
open.
140 champions or something, so plenty of them. But usually, I mean, especially in this rotation right now, there are just 2 target bans. I mean, Mordekaiser, for example, was the most played top laner by far for the Dynasty top line player, and I think Akali as well was just the most played for them. So just some target bans, just some comfort bans always make sense, especially in such a league where a player with a good comfort pick can still like crush the meta picks because you know your matchups. So definitely, it's always a good idea. Just take those out. And Vel'Koz, I mean, that's a classic target ban. Like, who would ban Vel'Koz if not for like targeting someone? And in this case, it's actually Pepito who played a lot of Vel'Koz on solo queue.
Yeah, and here you see the Azir before the Ryze actually, or the Kassadin. They need some DPS, so it's probably Varus lethality then to poke the enemy out, and it's still looking quite open here. Adverse is still focused on team fights, and let's see what Dynasty goes with the. So it's blinded. It's the Victor for the kiting.
Yeah, definitely fits into the team comp. Like Seri just tries to kite, with those saplings. Victor with the movement speed tries to kite. So definitely good pickup there. And now the question becomes, what do you want to blind pick? And I mean, what would be better than broken Cassandra, I guess? Yeah, just showing the world how it's done. I think we saw some really great games by Abby in the LEC on Cassandra, just solo boloing everybody. Little spoilers for the first week of LEC. But there's Olaf. And that's... If I see a pocket pick and a comfort pick, then it's an Olaf. Oh, but maybe it could be Olaf jungle as well, and you just send a Wukong top lane. I think they still can decide what they want to do, but that's like so much hard engage. Like you have the Olaf, the Wukong, the Nautilus, everybody just tried in, and then of course Azir with his shuffles, the Varus ultimate. So a lot of hard engage, a lot of team fighting, all in potential from Adverse. On the other side, just trying to kite out, does hard engage, trying to fight back, and trying to fight longer fights. Because on the Adverse side, you have much more like focusing one down or just create team fight ults, create burst. But on the other side, like Victor and especially Seri and Cassandra, of course, just wanting to fight long team fights. And I think that's something Dynasty really wants to force if they have the chance to.
Yeah, and we just got a sneak peek on the sloth background. Kind of funny. Could get that in a whole picture, but because we all like sloths, they're like the animal. But yeah, I think the kite comp of Dynasty is pretty hard to play here with all the CC and setup that I forgot the name. I'm sorry. That the Adverse will come up here in the team fight. They are going to burst you down probably. They have a lot of armor reduction with the Q of Olaf, the Q of Wukong for the Varus. Actually interesting to see what Varus is going to go, if he's on hit or if he's playing the poke variant. He could play poke. Then it's harder to kite because it has more range to get to the Zeri. But the Olaf could just run Yuzari down, but it's hard. But with Ghost it could work, but I still think that the poke will be better here because you can, if you hit the Yuzari once, you can go in. If you don't hit the Yuzari with some poke, because you have the Azir for the DPS, also the scaling stuff, and just hit it here, and then you run it down into the team fight, and I think that will be the plan for Adverse. And I think it looks hard for the Maokai because Wukong is pretty strong early in the fights. It looks hard, but if you can play around the Wukong to avoid him in the jungle, you can be safe in the early game. So I guess if Skelm plays it right, it could work.
Yeah, I think one really big problem for Dynasty I already see in this draft is that you are lacking frontline. I mean, yeah, you have Cassandra and Maokai, but Cassandra's on the side lane, and Maokai, if he goes for the AP build, isn't really tanky. So the whole engage from Adverse will just run them over in no time, and there is not much kiting if your frontline is like dead in 2 seconds. So Cassandra's role in the game actually becomes like grouping 24/7 and hopefully being a frontline, because otherwise if you just side lane and Scalen goes for full AP, I don't know, build, then they will just pop with every single engage from Adverse. So that could be a huge problem. But maybe the Dynasty just plays it correctly and just swaps Cassandra after he pushes the lane out to the team, and maybe Maokai goes for a more tankier build, or maybe gets ahead and then he is unkillable anyway. So those are actually the variables we can't see. But one thing of the team draft I really liked about your analysis was those armor reductions with the Varus. Something I didn't really saw, but like, you are actually right. So much armor reduction, those arrows will basically do true damage. Like, it's amazing. And especially on the Sari, on the Lulu, who are squishy, on the Victor, who is squishy, that could be really troublesome for them.
Yeah, depends what the Victor is building. If he goes for the Rod of Ages tier build, because you can actually build it, it's kind of tanky too, so could work. Yeah, but I think we have a delay here because we're not in game yet. So let's talk about the Victor Elysium matchup. From old seasons, I think it's one of the really hard scaling matchups. We saw it a lot in, I think, last season. No, the season before. Where... Oh, it was last season. It was Summer Split, I think. Where you saw a lot of Victor and Azir because the scaling was good, the wave clear was good. They were both control mages, they both had DPS, could kite, and so on and so on. And you just see that again. Azir, if you're a good Azir player, you can play him anytime. His ult, the Shurima Shuffle is just too strong for the engage, and you just hit it back.
Yeah, I think it's almost an El Clasico in the mid lane. Like, it's like Corki Azir or anything like Ari against whatever. Like, there are just so many control mage matchups that Azir against Victor is just always an option. And I mean, both do a great job. One more with the engaging, one more with like the bursting and the kiting back. And now we are actually in game. In this game with Adverse against Dynasty, and that was a good little engage on Snilla. Snilla really needs to take a little bit off, but there comes Skellan, and Skellan just needs to hit his root, and he goes for the tower dive. Easy kill there for Skellan. But what a cheeky gank there. I mean, just going for the level 2, and Snilla actually baiting that. I mean, he just went for a bad trade, and Nautilus thought he had it, and then just kill there for the Maokai. And with that start, maybe even going for AP Maokai, who knows?
Yeah. You see that the level 2 gank from the Maokai just played it out really good here. And you see the Wukong is just answering with the blue buff steal here, and Maokai just takes it. He doesn't have smite yet. Wukong has smite, and we see. Oh, there could be fight.
What scaling is against 3, and yeah, just too much action for me as a bad player like Casa. But I mean, what was that? They just crushed him then, and that was a really good play. Just having you can see it on the top side, just having the push in top lane and mid lane, so both could just go for the help there, and that was really well played by Edwards.
Yeah, you see the priority of the Olaf who just can Q the wave.
Nautilus goes for the hook, connects the hook, but there's not really follow up there by the Azir right now. With Shurima Shuffle, he would have follow up, but not with level 3. And now Maokai is on the top side. Olaf against 2, but yeah, just goes be in pop. And now Cassandra goes for some trades, but in the end, nothing really matter. Olaf against Maokai. Maokai gets the face rush proc, so gets out. But there's Cassandra going over the wall, and Olaf in the 1v3 right now, almost getting the kill. Maybe even he got the kill on Maokai with this true damage, but he could maybe misclicked on the Cassandra. But anyway, was really well played by him, but he just couldn't win the 1v3 sadly. And yeah, with that being said, Maokai with 2 kills.
Yeah, Maokai comes ahead again here. He even got the blue buff before, so he got the XP. He's now back on track again with the Wukong. And yeah, you see that the Olaf is quite hard to match as a tank. He just pushes you in and does what he wants.
Oh, if they knew that there was a ward. But they don't, so they just try to go for the sneak, but get out sneaked by a sneaky little ward. And in the end, both teams try to play it a little bit slowly. And now Adverse even goes for Drake.
Yeah, it's good to see that the teams are quite stable here. At the moment we only see the blue team, Fog of War. We're gonna have to fix that.
And
then you can see the engage
on the Varus, and he can't really get out. Dark Unique gets the kill there. Oh, good. Gravity field, good flash from Frankie. He gets out of there, and in the end, Dynasty even gets this Drake probably. I mean, Wukong is lurking, but in the end, it wasn't enough. They lose this first Drake against Dynasty.
Yeah, the first dragon is always important. Well, if it's the Infernal Dragon, you get percentage ratios on your AD and AP, so you scale faster and stronger. But yeah, here you see the wave is kind of frozen for the people. But yeah, it is it's quite stale at the moment.
If so, I have a quick question for you.
Ooh, yes.
Imagine Dynasty will like crush every single team. Then they would build up a dynasty, right? And now the question is, how much or how many times can you make bad dynasty jokes? Like, when is it too much? Like if I say in every single cast, oh, dynasty is building up a dynasty. Like, can I say it in every single cast, or maybe just in every 1 out of 2 games? Or like, is a joke or is a bad like name drop can I do it always or not? Oh, good Shurima Shovel, by the way.
When the
Against
engage comes.
but you don't have to follow up. Wukong still is level 4. Oh, so sad. Anyway. What's about the Dynasty drops? Dark Unique tries to go for the all-in, and he actually gets the kill. Yeah, and that's the sad thing. If you play an unmobile ADC against Ghost, you just get run down.
Yeah, and the kiting from the Zeri and the damage from the Lulu and Zeri is just abominable.
Yeah. But answer the Dynasty question.
Yeah, the Dynasty question. Well, I think they chose the name because they want to build a dynasty. So I hope they do. But,
so I can do bad name drops. Bad jokes.
Maybe it's fate.
Okay. Hey, cool. I have the permissions to do that.
You have the permissions to do everything.
Oh, okay. Give me all your money, please.
Maybe not everything.
No.
But yeah, the Wukong fall behind. The Maokai is on the level 6, Wukong is 2. So we see the teams just running by, getting some plates. Varus and Nautilus are still pushing better than Zeri Lulu.
Yeah, but there comes the Lulu, and I mean, I think they are so far ahead right now on the Varus that they actually can just go for the, especially because Zeri is level 6 and Nautilus isn't. So I would go for any 2v2 right now, but only with the information it's about the enemy jungler, and right now Wukong is sadly bot side, so they shouldn't go for any 2v2. But I think at the stage of this game, they can basically win every single 2v2. I mean, they are so far ahead, and Wukong is lurking in the mid lane, trying to get Frankie, but is
Shurima Shuffle.
But he takes it and he gets it, and that could be the first kill against Frankie. He can't survive it, and there's Scale, there's the Maokai, there's the damage, but he can't connect it. There's the flash, and in the end, Pepito gets taken down. There's Snilla maybe with the Maokai, maybe with the tower dive. You can get the double kill, and yeah, Maokai is strong right now. Little to no counterplay.
Yeah, it's just the phase rush on tanks to stay on the target, and you can do your damage. Yeah, it's the Maokai shows up again here in the 1v2 trade, a 1-for-2, and you see that the Wukong was a good Shurima shuffle, bit delayed, so wasn't quite fast enough. So the Maokai could react and come to kill both with the help of Lulu, the movement speed, and the W again.
Again, he tries to get to Nautilus, and he has enough damage for him right now, even with this first item complete. With the next Q, it wasn't enough. But there is Wukong, and maybe Skellen gets in trouble. He gets Lulu ulted, even gets out with the Overcroft, and he survives the situation, but still well played from Adverse to counter gank this situation.
Yeah, taking the minion to escape is one of my favorite mechanics of Maokai. If you have a minion, you just hop on it. Can't be targeted until you pop out of the target. You can even dodge card this ult with that move, and we have the engage again here.
Cry gets a huge ult but can't connect it, and Zeri meanwhile gets at least one. I would have tower dived that in 9 out of 10 games in my solo queue and probably would die, and Nautilus would get a triple, who knows. But Snilla gets a little bit too far in the enemy territory and gets taken down by the Wukong. Meanwhile, even Maokai with this tower dive maybe gets killed down.
He gets
that
it.
Was a huge takedown. Azir with the huge shutdown, and that's why they didn't tower dive it, because there was trouble. And if they tower dived it maybe fast enough, it wouldn't happen. But in this case, They lost a lot and didn't even get the Drake out of it. Because normally after this play you could go for the Drake, but in this case you lost so many members at over state that you can't even get this Drake, which is really sad for Dynasty.
Yeah, if they just pop the Rift Herald and go for Dragon would be the safer play here, but they wanted to kill the Nautilus and get some gold out of it. They got the flash and stuff, but at the cost of 2 lives and a shutdown, so it wasn't quite worth it for them. But they actually tried to get ahead. If you get the kills and you don't get the shutdown for the enemy team, you actually get ahead. It is the risky play with the kill there, but yeah, it's risky but high reward, and that's the thing.
Now they go for the Dragon with 4 people against 4 people, both top laners, now even roaming down to the mid lane. Cassandra will be first on the menu, but maybe they will still try to fight Maokai, try to sound them out, and that's the second Drake for Dynasty. Just being really strong there, but Edwards still looking good. Hook there in the backline, but you don't have damage right now. There's the Nautilus down. Good Shurima Shuffle to get some damage up there. But in the end, you can't really do much. Maybe with the snipe on Cassandra. Oh, you can't connect it. But in the end, they're still lurking. They're still looking. Frankie tries to kite out, and that's it. Just one kill in the Drake for nothing.
Yeah, and but they got the dragon, so it's worth it for Dynasty, and the tower too. But Wukong is here. Maybe he doesn't have flash, but he has ult, and yeah, the Zeri is already has the shield bow,
yeah,
for the safety and the killing and stuff.
And you had overgrowth on Ludo, so I think he would be dead if it jumps in, because Ludo ult and the shield bow and the ignite. I think Wukong was smart enough to don't go in there, because after he saw that he can't connect with the W, he just stopped it. Was the right call. But we have the first mythics already, so Liantries on both midliners actually. And then of course the Strife Breaker, the Shield Bow we already mentioned, and the Divine Thunderer on Wukong. And with those being built, we might get some fights around this Herald Pit, because both teams are looking, both teams have the bot lane and the top side. So maybe we see the next Shurima Shuffle or Wukong engage, or maybe even a Nautilus getting a hook in, but yeah, he knows it. I mean, he's really smelling the danger in the brush, so doesn't go in, and no, the Herald gets being started.
Yeah, it's pretty hard for either Adverse or Dynasty to go in there. Both comps have good engage with Maokai.
Nautilus is looking, but there comes a really huge Maokai ult. He gets almost 3 kills there in the backline, and there's the first for Wukong, but at least they trade 2 back for their 2 carries, and it was a 2v1, but actually the shutdown gold probably on Scalen. I think he had shutdown, maybe not. So 2v1, but Dynasty got the Herald, so it was rough for them. Sadly, Scalen had the Herald, so they can't kill this turret now, but still a good team fight for them.
Yeah, you saw the Zeri just popping off with the ult here in the team fight, and the Maokai engage, getting the Nautilus. The Nautilus has to go in, do some stuff and just die. And you see that the team fight of Dynasty is way stronger because of the Maokai and the Zeri comp, and also all the AoE that's going out. And also if the Wukong can't get into the fight, if he gets zoned out, he's kinda useless. Therefore, a really good job by Maokai to separate him from the fight, that his team can just kill the whole enemy team. And then you see that the fight is pretty easy for Dynasty, because they have no engage. The Shimmer Shuffle can't go into 4 people if you don't have the backup, and there was no backup. So they had to disengage and just own the fight.
Yeah, one thing I really like about Dynasty right now is that they just take fights if there's an object. So we always like had a little dragon fight or now the herald fight, and on the top side Olaf trying to go for the solo bolo, but doesn't really has the damage to run him down right now. Scale spawn the herald to get a little bit damage in on the turret, but dragon is spawning soon, so maybe we will see just a pickup with the Maokai ult, actually, and then just going for the dragon. That could be a plan, because dragon spawns in like 10 seconds. Oh no, he had a ward there in the brush, so maybe Cassandra needs to flash. Really well played there. And now the mid lane tower falls, and with that, they can just roam through the dragon, which they should get, and then it's soul point for Dynasty already.
Yeah, the Olaf who tried to delay the Kisante to go down, he's now TPing, and you see the engage again. Body stopping, and
there's a
the steal!
really good flank. Oh, but the steal came out from Wukong. That could be a team fight for Adverse, but in the meantime, Wukong is dead, and Nautilus as well. Sari with the double kill. Can you chase even further is the question. Scalen can't really connect his route, so no more kills for Dynasty, but really well played there from the Wukong player, just stealing this Drake, so no more soul point for Dynasty, and just losing 2 people for the dragon, I mean, is a little bit worth. Not that much, but still, you denied 1 more Drake, so you have a little bit more scaling.
Yeah, it was totally worth for the adverse team here, because they denied soul point, and so they just killed the whole thing here. And yeah, they delayed soul point. That means they delayed. Oh, nice flash from Frankie.
Yeah.
Like I said, delaying the soul point is always important. If it's an Ocean Soul with a kite comp, you don't want to give them Ocean Dragon.
But Varus against Lulu. I mean, that's a favorable matchup, but there comes the cavalry. So Dark Unique gets his kill. Here's Godlike already. Plays a wonderful game right now for Dynasty. And I mean, you said it, denying soul point is always a good thing for a scaling team, but I don't know if they even scale better. I mean, it's Harry with 7 kills, it's Victor. I mean, you have Azir on the flip side, but maybe even Dynasty is scaling a little bit better. Anyway, there comes the Maokai ult. They don't want to flip it, they just want to engage it, and Dark Unique will pop so much damage out of her little pistol, but she is getting engaged by the 2 Perusas, but survives it with the shield bow, and in the end you don't have damage to kill this Sari, and there's the Nautilus kill, and there's maybe even the Arzi kill, triple kill for Sari right now. There's the root, there's the stun, there's the kill by Cassante. Wonderful played here by Dynasty. They get 4 kills for just 1 loss, and in the end even the Baron on top.
Yeah, you see the fat Zeri who was just running down the enemy team here, and then they just get Baron for free. And see again that the Maokai is playing a really strong point, how do I say it? A strong. It's just a strong champion, and he just plays the role so good here, and you can't do anything against that. You just get kited and AoE'd down from the Victor and the Zeri. And the Maokai just sits there, takes the damage, roots, peels, and then you can do nothing against the enemy team.
And it's always the same, like they just start the object, and when the object drops down, they just start a Maokai ult, and either the enemy team runs away and you get the object, or they try to fight it, and then you just stop the object, you don't flip it, but just engage with a lot of stuns, and yeah, it's just a really like simple play here from Dynasty, but simple doesn't mean to be bad. It's just it's simple and it works, and they just win maybe the game with it. I mean, now with the Baron, they got this tier 2 midlane turret, which is really good to like open up the map, to open up those jungle routes. And now maybe even Olaf could be in danger, could be in trouble here. He could run out with his ultimate, but he doesn't have Ghost, and there is too much damage in the house, but he still survived. That was maybe a little bit late by Scale, but yeah, he needed to wait, of course, because Olaf was unCCable, but still, they get the next turret out of that, and yeah, that looks better and better for Dynasty.
Yeah, it's Dynasty with the Baron Dragon here, just kill the tower, and we have the dragon in 30 seconds come up, so they probably destroy the tower, and then they go down to, or they maybe engage here.
Really good Shurima shuffle there to disengage. Wukong can't really connect it, and in the end, they just will disengage from both sides. But I mean, yeah, that's just a powerful feat.
Yeah, and now they are faster to the dragon than the enemy team with the speed up recall from the Baron buff, and so that will be Ocean. No, the soul point for Dynasty in here, but the Aziz half-life and everybody is full. The ults are almost back, Zeri and Lulu have ult, K'Sante has ult, and nobody except the Olaf has ult on adverse, so they give up the dragon here and they just enjoy the soul point.
Yeah. There's not much to do for adverse, just suddenly getting outplayed, and in the end, like an armor pen Varus like really needs to get ahead in the early game, and sadly it didn't pay out to go for that build, and now they just lack damage, and they lack like a really good way to kill the Seri, because like every time we see like Olaf or even the Wukong trying to get to her, she will just dash away. Then there's the Lulu knock up, then there's like the Maokai knock up, the Maokai route, so you can't really just run to her, and in the meantime she kites you, she just kills you. And last time it was close because of the little flank from Wukong, I guess, or from the free brush, but this time, if they just siege it correct, it will be really difficult, and there are always wards just spotting out those flanking champions like the Wukong, and yeah, if you siege it correct, Dynasty shouldn't be beatable at this stage of at least this turret siege.
Yeah, and here comes the Maokai ult again to probably just zone the team. But
He tries to get into the Olaf, but he doesn't have the damage to kill the Siri. Siri is still full life, all or more or less. And meantime, K'Sante kills this Wukong. Now you can like tower dive or kill the turret, and yeah, just 2 kills for nothing. That's all the bruisers are dead, so you can kill Sari anymore. She still has her how's it called?
Flash.
Yeah, you know, the flash,
shield
and
bow?
of course shield bow.
Yeah.
That's it. She still has shield bow, and that was all the engage adverse had, and it wasn't enough.
Well, if you pop Ghost and you pop Zeri ult, you hit the champions, and you get Lulu speed up, there's no point in catching with Wukong and Olaf. There's not the lockup is missing for the Zeri here, and Zeri can just do what she wants. If there is the Maokai and the slows of Victor and stuff, so to kill the Zeri is so hard in that matchup. And you just see that Baron will also be up, so you have to siege here. The Vision is setting up, the saplings are coming out to poke. Maokai is going for the Vormox. Right, so you have still even more damage with the Demanding Embrace, Radiance Virtue, and
And
DE.
and now even like the hard time begins because you can't even face check all those brushes because there will be a sapling in every single brush, and so you can just go for the vision like they did, and now just if they face check it, they will lose a lot of health, and if they really come close, then just pop the Maokai ult, engage them, and like we saw, there's no way that Adverse can really win. But no, they caught out Carsante maybe with that, but
There's
there
the
comes the
ult.
Maokai ult. There's all the damage in the world. Nobody can get to Zeri. Oh, what a good Shurima shuffle. Maybe that was enough to win it, but yeah, that was a double kill. I mean, with this Shurima shuffle, they maybe have the chance now to turn this team fight around. Carsante is dead, and Maokai runs for his life. Zeri, in the meantime, at least gets the
Zeri's
double
still
kill.
alive.
But I mean, what a Shurima shuffle there. Pepito getting
the minions?
his kill back in town. But yeah, you call it. The minions are in the base, so they need to teleport it.
They can't do Baron because there are two big minions on the Nexus tower. That's so unfortunate for Adverse. They played the team fight really good. You saw the lock up, the Shurima shuffle, the Wukong ult, everything was perfect, and they still couldn't kill the Zeri here. The Zeri gets a double kill, and even Kisanti gets out because of the Olaf. He didn't took him with him. He just went through Olaf alone, and that actually saved a lot of time to do some more damage.
Yeah, and I mean, it was so well played because they had like them splitting up. Zeri needed to kite to the mid lane, and then after they bursted down Frankie, Dynasty just had no damage to fight back because Zeri was split up, and like Nautilus engaged her still, so she couldn't really come to the team. And like with that burst on Frankie, they really could turn the tide. So if they have a chance, then with a team fight like that, but no, Pepito has no flash, but there comes the Maokai ult. There's a little engage there on to Wukong, but he's still alive. Olaf, no, maybe in the backline, but he can't really reach this area, he can't really reach the Victor. He is not really strong enough to kill someone there, and in the meantime, Carsante kills the Azir. He gets right into it. Good Shurima shuffle, but there's no damage left in the tanks of Adverse. Double kill for Lulu. In the end, the ace, to double teleport in the base, and Dynasty starts to build his own dynasty in the second division of the Elite Series here in the Benelux states. And with that, Dynasty gets the first win against Adverse. And what a banger game. Maokai still with 100% win rate on this day, so please check out Maokai in your own games, and maybe even on Friday in the next match day. But anyway, that's the conclusion. We come to an end. It's like 4 games, and now we are sitting here, and it was a really big pleasure to cast with you. How was it for you?
This game was incredible. We had 27 kills for Dynasty, and Zeri had 13 kills and 10 assists and no death. Yeah. So that's like 80% of the, if I do quick maths here, 80% of the kills.
Yeah. Insane?
No, like 50% of the kills, but 80% kill participation. And you just see how that kite comp worked so well for Dynasty here. One team fight was not enough to get back for Adverse with their Wukong and the Olaf running in. Zeri's just kiting, but it was really a pleasure today to cast these games. It was a little bit over the top because Daniel got sick, so I had to jump in. But yeah, it was fun for Stana. I really want to... yeah, we can also get the standings, how the league looks now. You see just normal. Everybody is so like 4 people on the first rank, and on the second rank we also have 4 people on, and that's on the first day. It's Dynasty, Pertinax, Rifts, Lofts, and Reapers. They are The icons are not right, but
but you know, you see the standings. I mean, that's all you need. And actually, I think every single game of those 4 wins are really dominant. So I think Reapers had almost a clean game, and like Rift Slots won in under 23 minutes. Dynasty didn't really, except one team fight, didn't really slipped up, and Pertinax, I think it was clean as well. So like 4 matchups where you had a clear favorite. No, maybe not a clear favorite, but you had a clear winner. So this league could get really fun to watch if those teams who won today will fight each other for the top 2 or maybe even top 3 places. I don't know how the playoff system works, but we will get to that if it's important. And yeah, with that, today's day will end, sadly. And I think we will not produce, sadly, on Friday, but after that, every Wednesday, every Friday, with different mix of casters. Me, Loic, of course, QG, of course, Daniel, of course, someone I probably forget.
We have Harmless Scarecrow also,
who
started his debut on the Summoner Stands in Luxembourg. He also comes to visit. I think it's next week.
Yeah.
He comes, so I think on Wednesday. I think I switched with him, but I'm not sure. I think I cast on the 3rd. But yeah, you will see us again.
With no legs.
With no, I hope not.
I don't want to jinx it, but with no legs, and we come back stronger. The teams come back stronger, and we will just have a really nice time here in this 2nd Division ERL Elite Series. I'm hyped. Just doing the English cast for 2nd Division ERL is great. I'm really. It's an honor for me to be here, and it's an honor for me to cast with you. QG,
Thank you too.
You really did great today.
Thanks.
You
too for
really
your
pleasure.
If you're a color caster for your play-by-play. So I think we just send you off, guys, and we see you next week on Wednesday for the 2nd week of Elite Series Benelux.